Hello students, topic for today's discussion is duodenum. The term duodenum is derived from dodecadactylos, which means the total length of duodenum from pyloric orifice to duodenojejunal flexure is equal to the breadth of 12 fingers. It is the proximal, dilated and fixed part of small intestine which is devoid of mesentery. It is C-shaped organ. The concavity of C encloses the head of pancreas. Total length of duodenum is divided into four parts. First part, which is upper part, is 5 centimeter. The second part, which is vertical part, is 8 centimeter long. The third part or the horizontal part is 10 centimeter long, and the fourth part or ascending part is 2.5 centimeter long. The first part, it starts from pyloric orifice of stomach to superior duodenal flexure. It is directed upwards, backwards and towards the right side. The relations of the first part are, it is anteriorly covered by the peritoneum of greater sac, and after the peritoneum it is related to the quadrate lobe of liver, neck and body of gallbladder. Most of the posterior surface of first part of duodenum is non-peritoneal, but near to the pyloric part it is covered by the peritoneum of lesser sac, and the non-peritoneal part is related to three structures. These are the portal vein, bile duct and gastroduodenal artery. Posterior to these three structures runs the inferior vena cava, and the inferior vena cava is separated from portal vein, bile duct and gastroduodenal artery by one foramen, that is epiploic foramen. The upper border of duodenum, it gives attachment to free margin of lesser omentum in its proximal part. The posterior part of first part of duodenum forms the anterior boundary of epiploic foramen, and it is related to hepatic artery. Below the first part of duodenum is related to head and neck of pancreas. The proximal part, it gives attachment to two layers of greater omentum. Blood supply of duodenum. The duodenum is supplied by the end arteries. The first artery is supraduodenal artery, which arises from the gastroduodenal artery, which is the branch of common hepatic artery. This supraduodenal artery is also known as artery of Wilkie. Supraduodenal artery supplies the upper margin and upper 2/3 portion of anterior surface and upper 1/3 portion of posterior surface of first part of duodenum. The second artery is retroduodenal artery. Retroduodenal artery supplies the posterior surface of duodenum, and it is a branch from gastroduodenal artery. Third artery is infraduodenal artery, which branches from the right gastroepiploic artery, and it supplies the lower margin of first part of duodenum. Peculiarities of the first part of duodenum are, this is the most mobile part of duodenum. This part, it behaves more like stomach than the duodenum, so it is also affected by the peptic ulcers. The first part, as we have already discussed, is supplied by end arteries. If there is any pathology or injury to the arteries supplying the first part of duodenum, that leads to the necrosis of the part supplied by the corresponding artery. The first part of duodenum is devoid of mucosal folds, whereas rest of the duodenum is equipped with the mucosal folds known as plica circularis. Because of the absence of mucosal folds in first part, in radiograph this first part shows the one prominent area. That prominent area is known as duodenal cap. The second part of duodenum, the second part continues from the first part of duodenum from superior duodenal flexure, which lies at L1 vertebral level. It runs vertically downwards in front of the hilum of right kidney, lodging in a right paracollicutor. When it reaches to L3 level, it turns towards the left side and continues as a third part of duodenum from inferior duodenal flexure, which lies at L3 vertebral level. The anterior surface of second part of duodenum is covered with the peritoneum except the area which is crossed by mesocolon. Duodenum is related in a upper portion to the duodenal impression of right lobe of liver. Sometimes it is also related to fundus and body of gallbladder. In the lower portion it is crossed by transverse colon, and in the lowermost area it is related to the coils of jejunum. The posterior lesions are anterior surface of right kidney near to the hilum, right renal vessels, right renal artery and right renal vein, right ureter, right psoas major muscle and the right edge of inferior vena cava. Sometimes it may also related to the right suprarenal gland. Laterally, on the right side, it is related to right colic flexure. Medially, it is related to the head of pancreas, and a groove in between the head of pancreas and the second part of duodenum is the site for ventral and dorsal anastomosis of superior and inferior pancreatico-duodenal vessels. On the medial side, in the deeper aspect, it is related to bile duct and main pancreatic duct. Coming on to the interior of second part. As I told, the mucosal folds are absent in first part of duodenum, but in second part of duodenum we can see plenty of the mucosal folds. These mucosal folds are known as plica circularis. These are the permanent folds of mucosa. In the second part we can see one projection. That projection is known as major duodenal papilla. This major duodenal papilla lies at 8 to 10 centimeters from the pylorus of stomach. This is a single opening through which bile duct and major pancreatic duct opens into the duodenum to release their secretions. Minor duodenal papilla, it is a small projection which lies 2 centimeter proximal to the major duodenal papilla or 6 to 8 centimeters from pylorus of stomach. This is the site of opening of accessory pancreatic duct. One fold of mucosa which caps the major duodenal papilla, that fold is known as plica semilunaris. One fold which runs vertically downwards from major duodenal papilla is known as plica longitudinalis, and sometimes one more fold, one ridge which extends upwards from the major duodenal papilla, that represents the intraduodenal part of bile duct. Third part of duodenum, it extends from the inferior duodenal flexure and it runs towards the left side up to the anterior surface of aorta. It lies at L3 vertebral level. Interiorly, the third part of duodenum is covered by the peritoneum except the area which gives attachment to root of mesentery. The anteriorly, the third part of duodenum is crossed by superior mesenteric artery and superior mesenteric vein. Posteriorly, the third part is related to right psoas major, which is accompanied by right ureter, inferior vena cava, right gonadal vein and right gonadal artery, abdominal aorta and origin of inferior mesenteric artery. Superiorly, the third part of duodenum is related to uncinate process and head of pancreas. Inferiorly, the third part of duodenum is related to coils of jejunum. Fourth part of duodenum, which is 2.5 cm long, it extends from the front of aorta up till the duodenojejunal flexure, which lies about 2.5 cm towards the left from the median plane and 1.25 cm below from the transpyloric plane at second lumbar vertebral level. Anteriorly, the most of the part of fourth part of duodenum is covered by the peritoneum and it is related to transverse mesocolon and posterior inferior surface of stomach. Posteriorly, the fourth part is related to left crus of diaphragm, left psoas major muscle, left sympathetic trunk, left renal vessels, left gonadal vessels and inferior mesenteric vein, which is not visible here. On the right side, fourth part of duodenum is related to uncinate process. On to the left side, it is related to left kidney and ureter. Superiorly, the fourth part is related to the body of pancreas. Ligament of Treats. This is also known as suspensory muscle of duodenum. This is a fibromuscular band which arises from the right crus of the diaphragm close to the esophageal opening, and it attaches to the posterior inferior surface of duodenojejunal flexure. This is related to or encircles to the celiac artery. The upper third of band consists of striated muscles. Middle one-third band is formed by the elastic fibers, and lower one-third muscle is formed by the unstripped muscles. This band dwells from the superior retention band of primitive midgut. The blood supply of first part of duodenum has already been discussed in previous slides. The rest of the duodenum, means second, third and fourth part of duodenum, is supplied by the superior pancreaticoduodenal artery and inferior pancreaticoduodenal artery. The superior pancreaticoduodenal artery is the branch of gastroduodenal artery which arises from the celiac trunk. The celiac trunk is the artery of foregut. The inferior pancreaticoduodenal artery is the branch of superior mesenteric artery, which is the artery of midgut. Both superior and inferior pancreaticoduodenal arteries, they give rise to anterior and the posterior branches which runs in a groove between the pancreas and the duodenum anteriorly and posteriorly and form an anastomosis. This anastomosis give rise to longer branches which are known as vasa recta. These vasa recta branches supplies the duodenum. Now this duodenum is supplied by the branches from the foregut arteries and from the midgut arteries. It describes that the duodenum arises from the junction of foregut and the midgut. The veins from the duodenum accompanies the arteries and drains into superior mesenteric vein and the portal vein. Lymphatic drainage. The lymphatics from the duodenum, they drains into pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes which are lying on the posterior aspect of head of the pancreas. The efferent lymphatic vessels from the pancreaticoduodenal vessels drains into celiac and superior mesenteric group of pre-aortic group of lymph nodes. Nerve supply. The duodenum is supplied by the autonomic nervous system. It is comprised of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is derived from the celiac and superior mesenteric plexus. The preganglionic fibers for the sympathetic plexus are derived from T6 to T9 spinal segments, whereas the parasympathetic supply is by the both vagus nerves.